The exercise files for today's course are located in the video description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello, and welcome to our Microsoft 365 Basics course. My name is Mo Jones, and I'll be your instructor today. In this course, we'll show you how to get started with Microsoft 365. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is Microsoft 365? Well, in 2022, Microsoft changed the name of their flagship productivity suite from Office 365 to Microsoft 365. To ease you into this change, we'll be using the old and new names interchangeably for now. In this course, we'll cover some essential tools and techniques from Microsoft 365's top apps. This training is interactive, so get ready to pause the video and practice along the way. Let's get started.
Looking to support our channel and get a great deal? Become a member today to unlock ad-free videos. That's right, your favorite courses without a single ad. Interested in a specific video? Purchase one of our ad-free courses individually. Looking for even more? Gain access to exams, certificates, and exclusive content at learnitanytime.com. More information can be found in the video description below.
Let's take a look at our course overview for today. We'll be covering Excel and PowerPoint essentials, so what do you need to know in order to get started with PowerPoint and Excel. We'll start off by navigating Excel and creating a spreadsheet. We'll take it a step further by using Excel's basic functions such as sum, max, min, and average. We'll go ahead and navigate the PowerPoint interface and manipulate some of the core components. And we'll design a presentation together by using templates, themes, and layouts. So at this point, what I want you to do, go ahead and open up your web browser. And if you're using Microsoft Edge, the latest version, that's the preferred browser for Office Online. Go ahead and navigate to www.office.com, and I'll meet you there. Once you navigated to office.com, you should see your home screen. At this point, go ahead and launch Excel, and we'll go ahead and jump right in. So you may be on your home tab here. Make sure that you go ahead and click on Excel so we can see this window. And once you have Excel open, since we're starting with this application, let's take a look at the interface and try to make some sense of all of these different icons that are on this start screen here. I like to call it the big three because there's really three big things that you can do here on the start screen of Excel. And you can go ahead and start a new file. So as you can see, you can start either a new blank workbook, or you can go ahead and start one of the built-in templates here as well. You can also go ahead and open an existing file. So notice here we have recent files, pinned files, or any files that have been shared with you. And this is kind of the library, the current library that's showing up here. So instead of searching all over your OneDrive or your SharePoint, you can see all of your recent files here. You can also take it a step further by finding a file by clicking on Upload and Open. And that will bring you to all of your recent files as well. So again, these are the big three. Now, once we actually open a new blank workbook, we'll be presented with the Excel window. And notice it looks very similar to the desktop application. The first thing you'll notice is that the ribbon is condensed or collapsed, but we still have our search bar. We still have our full ribbon tab here. Over to the right is where we can implement some collaboration by sharing our document and adding comments as well. Here's my Office Online. I'm currently clicked on the Excel tab, and here I can see all of my recent files, and here are any pin files. So I currently don't have any pin files. Maybe I'll go ahead and pin this file here. So I'll just mouse over each of these files, and if I want to pin one, I can just click on the pin, and now if I go to my pinned tab, I can see all of those pinned files there. So it's important to be able to pin files if you are working on some very important files often. You want to be able to find them quickly. You can go ahead and pin those. If there are any files that were shared with you, that would show up here. So here I have two files that were shared with me. So a really nice way of keeping yourself organized. If I want to open any files, I can click on Upload and Open, and that will actually open up a window for me that I can search for various files. So as you can see, I can go ahead and navigate my computer, or my OneDrive in this case, and open various files. I can also go ahead and access more in OneDrive. If I want to see a more extensive list of my documents here, I can go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at some of the templates that are available here. So if I click on More Templates, and if I scroll down, I can see some pre-built templates. So now these are templates that professionals have worked on. The colors are very nice. They're very complete. They have a lot of functionality, and we can basically use these for free. And we can just simply replace the data that's currently in there and really make it our own. We can also search for templates by searching here. So maybe I'll search for a budget. And so here is a budget, a few. I actually have 4 here. I can look for more template results if I want to. Here is a quick family budget. We'll take a quick look here, because what we'll notice is that this interface that we're taking a look at is going to be the same for PowerPoint, kind of the same layout. So we'll take our time now and just kind of go through this here. So here's a family budget. So if I click here, it's going to go ahead and launch this file for me. And so typically it will provide some instructions on how it works. But as you can see, I can go ahead and enter information here. I have 3 worksheet tabs here on the bottom. So I have one for cash flow, one for monthly income, one for monthly expenses. And so if you don't want to just go ahead and create one of these from scratch, feel free to use this template. Let's take a look at the monthly income worksheet tab. Okay, so here are the incomes. So if I wanted to go ahead and change these numbers, I could actually do that. So let's say my monthly income is $5,500 and income 2 is actually $1,200. Okay, so notice how the formulas are actually working here for me. So there's formulas built in. As we can see, here's the total function that's being used here. If we look in our formula bar, we'll take a look at all these features a little later here as well. But the whole point is, as you make the changes here, here are the monthly expenses tab, and everything is designed for us. This will take a very long time for us to design a worksheet like this. And so here are the housing expenses. So here are the totals on the bottom. The formulas are there. So if I change this, let's say to 1,200, notice all the information is changing here as well. I no longer need childcare. I'll take that out. And everything is changing in real time. Also, the cash flow will change as well based on the changes that you make. And so that's just an example of one of the templates that you can use. Always feel free to use a template. You can always search for a particular type of template that you are looking for. But let's go ahead and open up a blank presentation. But before we do that, go ahead and pause the video. Go ahead and open up the template, change some of the data in there, and make it your own, and come right back. Welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and open up a blank workbook here. So I'm on my Excel tab, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a new blank workbook. So here is our workbook, and I'll go ahead and quickly just notate those 3 areas. So those 3 areas are, here's our ribbon tab, such as our home tab. Here's our data tab, our view tab, and our help tab. So this is our ribbon. And once we click on one of these ribbon tabs, we will see a few command groups that are underneath each of these as well. Here's our search box, which is very, very useful. You can kind of think of the search box as a Q&A or maybe a how-to. And then finally, over here on the right, we can actually share this document in a collaborative space, and we can go ahead and mark it up with comments as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at our ribbon first. So again, if I click on my home menu, or my home tab rather, okay, so here are the commands here that I can use. If I click on the insert, notice how I have a different set of commands that I can use. Also, if you want that feel more of the Excel, if I click on the down arrow right over here to switch the ribbons, if I just click on down, I can get that full menu. So now this looks more like the Excel desktop application. So notice I'm currently on the home tab and I have my clipboard command group with all of my clipboard commands. Here's my font group. Here's my alignment group, my number group, styles, cells, and editing as well. So at this point is really your option. I'm going to go ahead and operate with the collapsed. Okay, so I'll go ahead and with the collapsed ribbon here. It gives me a little more space and I can go ahead and move things around. If I need to, I can always transition back to the full ribbon tab here as well. So here's our search box. I'll go ahead and type the word zoom in here. So if I type zoom, what's pretty cool is it gives me a few different options here. So here's some commands or actions that I can use. And notice right from here, I can set the zoom. Maybe I'll put the zoom to 125. Makes my screen a little bigger here. If I go back and type zoom, it shows my recently used. I have some suggestions here, such as how to merge a cell. So if you're ever really trying to find something, maybe you forgot where it is, you can always type it in the search bar. It will show the command for you and provide you with some other options here as well. So I'll go back and click on zoom. Okay, so I can zoom, I can look for an add-in, or I can go ahead and look for the actual word zoom in my document here as well. Over here, I can go ahead and click on share. Notice that I am currently logged in with my account. And so if I want to go ahead and share, if I click on share here, I can go ahead and actually use a few options. I can either send a link to someone, I can type the email address of someone that I want to share this file with, and I can specify the type of access that they can have, such as edit or view. I'm not going to share this file right now. I want to go ahead and jump in and start getting some things done here. So I want to make sure that I'm on my home tab because I'm going to be using some of the commands here on the home tab. Now notice I can activate different cells by simply just clicking around here on the worksheet tab. I can move around. I can use my arrow keys. If I press down, I go down. I can press up. If I press to the left, I jump to the left. If I can go back to the right. So this sounds very basic, but this is very important. We need to know how to kind of move around here. So if I press enter, it's going to go down. Press enter again, it goes down. If I press tab, it goes to the right. If I hold down shift and tab, that goes to the left. So I can do that. I can move around by clicking. I can move around by using my arrow keys. I can press the enter key, or I can press the tab key there as well. For our first example, let's go ahead and just highlight all of column A. So here's column A. So notice our columns are vertical. So they go basically up and down. So here's our column, here's column A. And then we have our rows. So here's row 15. Our rows go horizontally. So here's row 16 in this case. Okay, so here we have it. We have our columns are vertical. And then we have our rows. Now, very important, the intersection of a row and a column is called a cell. So if I were to, let's say, here is column I, or let's do column J, make it a little easier here. So here's column J. And notice that this is in row 4. So this is row 4. So this is actually referred to as cell J4. This will be cell J4. So notice that the cells are referred to based on the column letter and then the row number. Okay. So very good. So if I were to click on this cell J4, we would see it actually showing up right here in our name box. So our name box is right here. I have D2 currently activated. So this is column D. This is row 2. So I'm on D2. So if I click away from here and go to J4, we will see J4 showing up in our name box. So as you can see, here's J4, and here's J4 showing up here as well. Another important thing is just to be able to move around. Okay, so I can go ahead and select a cell. So I can select cell A1, but very important, what I want to do is select multiple cells. I want to select all of these cells from A1 all the way down to row 10. So what I want to do is click on cell A1. While my left mouse button is still depressed, I'm going to go ahead and drag down. Okay, now I can let go. So now I've selected cells A1 all the way down to A10. Another thing that I can do, I can also go ahead and select a part of a row. Okay, so I just did the same thing in a row. So I clicked on cell A1 with my left mouse button still depressed. I dragged all the way over to column H here. Now I can also select a collection of rows and columns. So this time I'll go ahead and click on cell A1 with my left mouse button still depressed. I'm going to go ahead and head over to column G. Still depressed. I'm going to go down here. So as you can see, I can select this entire cell range. So this is called a cell range, and this is referred to as A1, which is the beginning of this cell, down to G10. So in this example, we have a cell range that's selected. So that red box is called a cell range, and the name of that cell range is A1 all the way down to G10. I know it sounds very basic, but it's very important to know how to kind of move around. So go ahead and practice. Go ahead and highlight some cells. Practice pressing the Enter key, up, down, left, right, and the Tab key as well. Familiarize yourself with the different ribbon tabs here. Take a look at the commands that are available under each one, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, one of the really nice features of Excel is being able to use shortcuts. I'm going to go ahead and hold down my Alt key on my keyboard. And when I let it go, it shows me all the shortcut mappings for my ribbon tabs here. So notice how if I want to go to the Home tab, I can hold down the H key or Alt plus H. If I want to go to the Formulas tab, Alt plus M. Or if I want to share, I have a combination here, so Alt ZS. So right now I'm currently on the Home tab. If I want to go to the Insert tab, I can press N. And notice how that brings me to the Insert tab. Now that I'm on the Insert tab, if I want to insert something, maybe I want to insert a picture. If I press P, that will open up my dialog box to open up a picture. And now it just keeps going. So if I want to upload a stock image, I can press S. That opens up my dialog box here for a stock image. So these are just some mappings here. Again, just by holding down the Alt key and letting go, it will reveal all of the options available to you. So just a really nice way. If I press H, I can go back to my Home tab. And if I want to go ahead and color this cell, let's say the current color is yellow. If I press H here, I can go ahead and choose a color. And as you can see, as I mouse over each color here, it's giving a fill color there as well. So those are the mappings for the shortcut. Go ahead and hold down your Alt key, and then just go ahead and let go. And go ahead and play around. And drop into the different ribbon tabs and see if you can find any shortcuts that are really, really useful to you. To remove the shortcuts, you can just basically press the escape key, and that will toggle you out of that mode. So right now, if I just press escape, that brings me back to normal here. So go ahead and play around with those shortcut keys and maybe write some down that you find useful, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and start building our worksheet here. So what we want to do, we'll create a fictitious cafe and we'll call it My Cafe. So I'll go ahead and click on cell A1 and I'll type My Cafe. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. That brings me to cell A2. I'll go ahead and press enter again. In cell A3, I want to start creating my products table. So there are my products. I'll go ahead and press enter. So this entire sheet is going to have all of my products. So I'm going to go ahead and give this sheet a name. Notice down here, it's called sheet 1. I can right click on it and I can say rename. So let's go ahead and rename that. And I'll change this to products. I'll go ahead and click OK. And as you can see, I have a products worksheet tab. We'll add some more worksheet tabs as we go along, but let's focus on this worksheet here. What I want to do now, I want to go ahead and add some beverages here. And I have a few fields, right, or descriptive headers that I want to use to describe my products. So on cell A4, I'll type the word, maybe product number. And then I'll press the tab key so that I can go to the right, because if I press enter, I'm going to go down. So I'll press tab to go to the right. And maybe I'll just put the product here. I'll press tab again. Maybe I want to know how many I have in stock, so I'll say quantity. Again, I'll press tab, one more header, and this will be the price. Very good. At this point, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change the font just for presentation purposes, just to make sure everything is nice and big. So I'll go ahead and click on my all here. So right here, right underneath my name box, this little triangle here. So if I click here, that will select all. Notice how it selects everything here on my workbook. I'll go ahead and change the font. So on my home tab, I'll go ahead and change it so that all the font will be, let's see, I'll make this 14. I want to make it too big here. There we go. So now we have a little issue here. We can see that the quantity is kind of being cut off here. So what I can do, I can go up and make this column wider so I can see my full word here of quantity. So what I can do, notice when I go up to column C, I have a pointing finger. If I move to the intersection of column C and D, my icon changes. That tells me that I can go ahead and resize the column. So I'll go ahead and just resize the column until I like it. Maybe I'll go ahead and resize this one here as well. And that looks pretty good. At this point, what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and bold all of my headers. So I'll click on cell A4 while the left mouse button is still depressed. I'll drag across. And on my home tab, I'm going to go ahead and click on bold. Very good. All right, so at this point, I just need to go ahead and enter my product number. I'll start with maybe 101. I'll press enter and then enter 102. Now, I think at this point, maybe I'll start off with 5 items, but I don't want to type 103, 104, and 105. Excel recognizes patterns. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and highlight these first 2 here. So 101 and 102, I'll go ahead and select those. At the very bottom right of that cell, we see a little green square. And when we move our cursor to it, notice how my cursor right now is a white cross. Bottom right turns into a black cross. That's called the fill handle. I'm going to go ahead and grab that and just drag down. And notice how it automatically continues that pattern for me. Okay. Very good. For the sake of time, I'll go ahead and complete my table here. And then you can go ahead and pause the video and come right back. So I just completed my list here. I'm going to go ahead and just fix my column width here as well. And if you notice, if you take a look here in column D, my prices, they don't have the dollar signs. So I want to go ahead and grab the dollar sign here. So right here on my home tab, I can go ahead right next to my general, I can go ahead and grab the currency. So I'll go ahead and highlight those values and I'll go ahead and click on the English here. I'll take the default. If I want more accounting formats, I can click here. And so I can give it currency if I want to, or I can give it accounting. Okay. Maybe I'll give it currency. I'll just go ahead and click OK. So there are my dollar signs here as well. Well, at this point, go ahead and complete your table. Pause the video, complete your products list here, and come right back. Now that we have our products list complete here, I'll just make a few minor adjustments. I want to go ahead and make sure everything is center aligned. So I'll go ahead and copy all of my headers here, or select all of my headers rather, and all of my data. And on the home tab, I'm going to go ahead and align. I want the center alignment. So that looks a lot cleaner here. And maybe what I'll do for my products here, I'll go ahead and merge. So I want to use the merge command. So I'll click on A3, I'll drag it all the way across to D, and I'll go ahead and click on my drop down for merge, and I can say merge and center. So now I have a little kind of like a title here for my products list as well. Very good. So I'm finished with this worksheet tab here. I want to go ahead and duplicate it so I can start to add a orders table over here to my right. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on my products worksheet tab, and I'll click on duplicate. Notice how that duplicates it for me. It places it to the left. I'm going to go ahead and rename this, and I'll go ahead and move it over to the right. So I can just click on it and drag it so that it's after my products worksheet tab. So I'll go ahead and rename this. So I'll right click and rename it. I can also double click as well if I want to rename it. And I'll call this orders. And I'll just use this worksheet tab to kind of, use it as a space to develop my order form before I complete it. So I'll go ahead and click OK. So notice it copies everything exactly. So here is my products worksheet tab, and here is my orders worksheet tab. Okay. So as we can see, the only thing that did not carry over was the zoom. So I'll go ahead and zoom in, my zoom level here. I'll put it at, there we go. Try to get to 125. I can also type zoom in here as we did before, and I'll put that to 125%. So there you go. So now they're identical. Very good. So I'll go head over here and start my orders table here. So I click on cell, I want a little space in between. So I'll go ahead and click on cell G4, and I'll start to add the headers for my orders here. Now I want to start with the order number. And then after we have the order number, we need to know, well, which one of the products are we using? So maybe I'll use the product number. I'll press tab to head over to the right, and then I'll put the quantity and then the price. There we go. I'll go ahead and bold these as well. Very good. And so what I'll do, I have a few of these columns that are kind of cutting off my headers here. So this is another option. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all the columns here. So G, H, I, and J. And if I move to the intersection of any of these columns here, I'll double click. And notice how it auto fits all of those columns for me. Okay. So I'll do that again. I'll go ahead and like that. I can just highlight or select the columns and then double click at any of those intersections. All right. So it auto fits the column for me. Very good. So let's go ahead and enter an order. Maybe we haven't ordered. Somebody wants the cappuccino. So I'll put in the order number here. This is order number. We'll start our order numbers with 200. So maybe 201. And they want the cappuccino. So the cappuccino product number is 105. So I'll put 105 here. And person ordered 3 of those. So we'll say 3. Okay, and so what's the price for the cappuccino? The price for the cappuccino is $2.95. So we'll place the price in here. Okay, and so now we have the data we need to go ahead and calculate the total for this sale, but we need to start entering our formula. So we need to use a calculation so that we can multiply 3 times 295 as well. We'll keep it simple and then we'll make it more complex. We'll add the taxes in there a little later on as well. But let's go ahead and enter our first calculation for the day. So maybe we'll say cost before tax. Okay, so cost before tax, one word. I'll go ahead and bold that as well. Auto expand the column. And so whenever you're entering a formula or a function or a calculation, you start with the equal sign. So on K5, I'll type the equal sign. And now I have a few options. So I can either enter the numbers. So I can simply say equals 3 times 2.95. Okay. And if I press enter, it's basically acting like a calculator. So it gives me the cost here as $8.85. So 3 times 2.95 gives you $8.85. The other thing that I can do is, well, I can, instead of typing the actual number, I can use what's called the cell reference. Okay. And so with the cell reference, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and multiply whatever is in cell. Okay, so this is cell I5. I want to go ahead and multiply it by whatever is in cell J5. So I can do it like that. And that's helpful because guess what? If I change the values in here, my formula is going to update automatically. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do the cell reference. So this time I'll say equal. And I'm going to go ahead and click on cell I5. Okay. So whatever is in cell I5, that's going to be included in my formula. So I5 times, so I'll use the asterisk for my multiplication. Notice how I5 is currently selected, letting me know, hey, this cell is a part of this formula. I'm going to multiply it by whatever is in J5. And so my formula becomes I5 times J5. So whatever is currently in I5, store it, multiply it by whatever is in J5 and store it and give me the answer. So we should get the same answer as 885. I'll go ahead and press enter. And there you go. So we have the same there as well. So we learned a few things. To start a formula, you need to start with the equal sign. You can either type in the numbers that you want to calculate, or you can use the cell reference. Now here's the advantage of using the cell reference. What if this person wanted 4? They changed their mind. They want 4 cappuccinos and not 3. If I enter 4 here, I don't want to have to enter the formula again. So look what happens if I place the number 4 in the quantity. The cost before tax will change. So I'll type 4, press enter. And so now our formula here, the cost before tax, is locked on to I5 and J5. So now it's dynamic. Okay, very good. So go ahead, pause the video, go ahead and build your order table, enter your formula, and drop in a few orders as well. Welcome back. Okay, so now we have our formula working here. I want to go ahead and just kind of clean up my data here to make sure everything is okay. And one of the things I realized over here on my products list, I have something incorrect here. So on cell B7, I have my large cafe with milk. This should be a small cafe with milk. And in B8, this should be large. So I need to go ahead and switch these around here. So what I like to do, notice if I click on this cell, if I start typing, it's going to erase everything in there. I like to go up to the formula bar. So right here is our formula bar. Pretty helpful. I can expand the formula bar as well. If I click on this little arrow here. Okay. And I like to come in here because now it gives me the freedom to kind of click around and move things. So I'll change the large to a small. And I just need to go ahead and click away from the cell to go ahead and complete the command here. So that's good. So now I need to change this small cafe with milk for product 104. This should be a large cafe with milk. So if you want to, you can actually edit it right here in the cell. Just go ahead and double click in the cell. So now notice my cursor is blinking. That tells me I can move around in the cell here. And I'll change this to a large. Very good. So before I come over here and kind of complete my order table, what I want to do, I want to keep track of the inventory here as well. So maybe what I can do is maybe I'll insert another sheet here. So I'll click on the plus sign here and I can go ahead and insert another sheet. So right here. So that inserts a sheet to the right. I'm going to go ahead and right click on there and rename it. And I'll call this one inventory. And what I want to do is just focus on inventory. I'll put in some formulas in here to kind of keep things on track as well. So I'll go back to my orders table here. And I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this. So I'll go ahead and select from cell A4 down to D9. I could go ahead and right click here, or I can use my clipboard. I can say copy. I'll do it that way. So I'll say copy. Notice I have the kind of green marching ants around here. I'll click on my inventory worksheet tab and I'll give it a little space. I'll probably drop that here in cell A3. So I can right click if I want to. And notice when I right click, I have different paste options. So I can paste it as is. If I just want to paste the values, I can do that. And some other advanced functions over here as well. Okay. But in this case, I'll use the clipboard and I'll just go ahead and say paste. So here we go. Here's my data. I just need to go ahead and do a little cleanup. I'll go ahead and click on my all here. And I want to auto size all of those columns. Very good. So what I want to do now, I do want to fix the zoom. So I'll make the zoom 125 as well, just so that we're consistent. And I want to add another column here. So what I want to do specifically is I want to insert a column right in between the quantity and the price. And I'll call that maybe quantity needed, right? Because maybe we want to make sure that we always have at least 25 in stock. And so we need kind of a running list to show us what we need to order here. Now, when you insert a column, it inserts to the left. So there's a few ways to do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on column D, okay? Because remember, if I insert a column, it inserts it to the left. So if I click on column E and insert a column, it's not going to help me. So I'll first select column D, then I'm going to go ahead and right click. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert a column. So notice how that inserts it to the left for me. So now I can go ahead and call it maybe quantity needed. Go ahead and auto size that column. So what I'll do here is I'll maybe create a little space here, and I'll just say inventory needed. And I'll put a number in here, and I'll just say we need to have 25. So I'll put the number 25 in there. I'll bold this as well, just so it stands out a little bit. And maybe I'll go ahead and add a border around this one here. Maybe I'll do thick outside borders. And if I want to give it a fill color, just kind of make it stand out, maybe I'll do something like this. Okay. So that way we know inventory needed is 25. So now I want to go ahead and just kind of automatically have this column populated. And so what I'm going to do, for example, I currently have 15 of these small Cafe Black in stock. So I need 25. So I know that I'm short 10. So what I'm going to do is enter a formula in here. So I'll say equals the inventory needed minus the current quantity. So equals C1 minus C4. If I press enter, it gives me 10. Very good. So now I know that I need to have 10 in here. Very good. Now before we take care of the rest of these, we will need to use absolute referencing for the remainder of these calculations here to save us some time. So we'll come back to this. We'll go back to our orders worksheet tab. And as you notice, I did enter a few items here. So I have order number 202, 203, and 204. All the information is entered here already. I just need to do two things. I need to go ahead and grab the currency for my prices and my cost before tax. And then I need to go ahead and copy the formula or write the formulas here to go ahead and calculate the cost before tax. So I'll take care of the prices first. I'll go ahead and drop in my currency there. And even though I don't have data in these cells yet, I'm going to go ahead and set these up ahead of time. Now, one of the cool things is, notice I have my formula in here, right? So 1180, it's I5 times J5. I don't want to have to type this formula again and say, I6 times J6, and then I7 times J7, and then I8 times J8. So what I can do, the same way that we were able to kind of autocomplete these product numbers here by grabbing that fill handle, well, I can use that to copy this formula down. So I'll go ahead and click on cell K5. I'll locate the fill handle, the little square in the bottom right. I'm going to drag it down here. And look what's going to happen. So it copied the formula down and it completed my order table for me. So very good. So it saves you a lot of time. Imagine if you had 100 orders, you would not want to write the formula 100 times. You can just fill down and it will take care of it here as well. Now, very important, here's how that worked. Let's take a look at the formula that's here in cell K5. I'm going to press the F2 key on my keyboard to show me the formula. And if you take a look at that formula, so it's I5 times J5. So here's the blue and the red. I'm going to go ahead and press escape. I'll go down to the next one. I'll press F2. And as you can see, when I copied the formula down, it's using what's called relative referencing. So basically, as I move down each row, my formula is moving down a row each. So notice this is I6 times J6. If I go down here, this should be I7 times J7. And it is. So it moves relative to where I'm copying that formula. So that's relative referencing. So go ahead and copy your formulas down. Go ahead and make these changes. Also go ahead and insert the new worksheet. Go ahead and copy over the products to the inventory worksheet tab. Go ahead and insert the column here as well. And come right back and we'll talk about absolute referencing. We'll take care of the inventory table. Welcome back. Well, let's go ahead and talk about absolute referencing. So let's make sure that you're on the inventory worksheet tab here. And remember, we inserted this column. We want to calculate the amount that we need, the quantity needed to fulfill our inventory. So each of these items, each of these products rather, it's good to have at least 25 in stock just so that we can keep our cafe up and running here. And so right now, what we've done is we've created a small input field here for 25. And just in case this changes, maybe we will change this to 30 in the near future. The formulas will update automatically here as well. So let's take a look at our first formula here. Again, I'll go ahead and press F2. Shows me the formula. So we're simply subtracting cell C4 from cell C1. So 25 minus 15 will give us 10. So that's working fine. But now look what happens when I try to copy that formula down. So I'll go ahead and copy it down here by grabbing the fill handle and copying it down. So I get some weird numbers here. Minus 20, I know that this is incorrect because 25 minus 20 should give me 5. I'm getting a value error message here as well. And it says a value used in the formula is of the wrong data type. And then I have 5 here. So I know that these are all incorrect. So I need to do a little bit of investigation here just to kind of show you why this did not work. So let's go back to cell D4. I'll press F2 here. And so notice it's locking on to the correct cells. So C4 and C1. I'll press escape. Let's take a look at the formula here. Now, look what's happening. It's locking on to C5, which is correct, but it moved down. It's not locking on to C1. So notice how it goes down to C2 because it's using relative referencing. So if I go to the next one here, it should go down another row. So it's going to lock on to C6 correctly, but it's going to move down to C3. So if I press F2, so this is what's happening here. So how can we stop the first part of our equation, or our formula rather, from moving down every time we go down a row? Well, we're going to use what's called absolute referencing. So here's what we want to do. We want this formula to stay consistent. So for example, for product 101, it should be C1 minus C4. And then for product 102, the formula should be C1 minus C5. And then for product 103, it should be C1 minus C6. So the second part is changing, but the first part is locked on. So we want to lock on to C1, whatever value is in there. We do that by using what's called absolute reference. So we want to lock on to C1. So we're going to absolute reference C1 by typing it in this manner. So we're going to go ahead and type it like this. So we'll place the $ in front of the C, which is the column, and the $ in front of the 1. So if you write it like that, then we should be able to go ahead and autofill down. So let's go ahead and give it a quick test here. So I'll go back to my original formula and I'll do this from scratch here. So I'm going to start with C1. So I'll say C1 minus C4, but I'll absolute reference it. So $C, $1 minus, and then I'll go ahead and click on this cell, or I can even type it if I want to. So I'll just type C4. It's locking onto the appropriate cells, so we're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and press enter. So now the difference is this time, before we autofill down, we absolute reference. We locked on to cell C1. So now let's go ahead and autofill down, and let's make sure that it's locking on here. Okay. So now if we take a look, these numbers, they look better. Okay. So let's take a look at our formula. And as you can see, it's locking on to C1. Pretty good. So C1 minus C5. Let's go to our last one here. Give this one a test. And there you go. So we absolute reference, or I like to call it locking on to a particular cell. Now, it's often necessary to use absolute reference for fixed values, such as maybe percentage, commission, tax rate, things of that nature. And so that is absolute referencing. So you fix the original formula, and then you're able to go ahead and autofill down. Otherwise, it will use what's called relative referencing. So by default, Excel uses relative referencing. In some cases, you will need to use absolute reference. You do that by adding the $ before the column and the row. So go ahead and absolute reference that first formula in D4. Then go ahead and autofill down and make sure everything is working properly. One of the benefits of locking on to this value now, maybe it's a month later and I want to change this value here to 30. Because I have everything locked on, my numbers are going to update automatically here. So if I type 30 and press enter, notice how this is dynamic. So now it's based on the actual cell reference. So go ahead and pause the video, absolute reference your first formula, and go ahead and change the numbers around, make sure everything is working properly, and come right back. Welcome back. So far we have 3 worksheet tabs here. We have our products worksheet tab. That just basically has our 5 products here. And then we have our orders worksheet tab. So this actually has our products and our order table here. We're able to add some calculations in here as well. And then we have our inventory that's keeping track of our inventory as well. So what we want to do right now, we want to go ahead and maybe run some numbers here based on the information that we have here. And over on our home tab, we have this auto sum feature. So here's auto sum. And if you click on here, you can drop in some functions such as the sum function, average, count numbers, max, and min. We can also access more functions from here as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the formulas tab and see what other functions there are. So if I click on the formulas tab here, I have several options here available to me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and expand my ribbon here so I can see some more options. Okay, so if I expand my ribbon, now I can see here is the function library. Okay, so I'm on my formulas tab and I have a function library. I have some formula auditing and I have a calculation. But over here, we have different types of functions that we can use. So as you can see, we have the auto sum that's also available on our home page. We have various financial functions, logical functions, text functions, and then we have more functions over here. So for example, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the financial functions that we have. So as you can see, it's a very exhaustive list of functions here. We have some date and time functions that we can use. Okay, and as we just mouse over each of these functions, it tells us what the function does. So the date returns the number that represents the date in Microsoft Excel. So every date has an actual numerical value, and we can get that serial number by using this function here as well. Here's our famous today function, which always drops in or returns the current date as well. All right, and so this is really how these functions work. There's a lot of logical functions that are very popular, such as the if function, but we'll cover these another time. Right now, we just want to go ahead and focus on the auto sum, average, max, and min. So we want to go ahead and maybe create a few fields down here to keep track of our inventory. So maybe we can say total inventory in stock and total needed. So we can actually maybe put this over here. So I can say total in stock. And maybe we can say, what is our highest? Or maybe we can just say high and low. So in this case, we want to see what is the total that we have in stock? How much do we need? What's our high? So right now, the highest amount we have is product 102, which is 20. And our lowest is the product 104. So for the total, I'll go ahead and drop in. I'll click on cell H3. I'll click on the drop down. I'll type in auto sum. And what I need to do here for the auto sum function is I'm going to go ahead, so we can do it right here in the cell. So we have the parameters here, number 1, number 2. What I want to do, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the total quantity here. So I'll highlight these values. So my formula becomes the sum of the cell range C4 down to C8. So if I press enter now, it tells me that I have 72 total in stock. So that's how the auto sum function works there. I'm going to head over to the high. I'll evaluate the same range here, and I want to see which one is showing my highest in stock here. So I'll click on auto sum and I'll say max. So the max function returns the highest number in a range. So I'll click here. It tries to look around. It's assuming that I want to, evaluate these cells. That's not what I want. I'm going to go ahead and highlight these cells here. Go ahead and press enter. If you feel more comfortable, you can head up to the formula bar and then go ahead and press enter. In this case, my parentheses, I have the open parentheses and the closed parentheses. And there you go. So the high is 20, which is correct. Product 102. And then the low, I'll go ahead and drop in the min function for this. Represents the smallest number in a range of data. And so this time I'll go ahead and highlight this again. Okay, and it shows me 10. So this gives me kind of a quick visual. Okay, so wow, I have something that's low in stock of 10. I need to go ahead and pay attention to that. All right. And then finally here, we can say, so total needed. Okay, we can go ahead and sum this up here as well. So I'll drop in the auto sum. And it wants to auto sum these cells. That's not what I want. I want all the quantity needed. So I can either type it, I can type D4 to D8, or I can highlight the cell ranges. So either one will work just fine. In this case, I'll go ahead and type it. So equals sum D4 to D8. And notice how it gives you a guide as you type the formula here. If I type D10, it will highlight all the way down to D10. So a good way to check it before you complete your formula, I'll go ahead and press enter. Okay, so currently I have 72 in stock and I need 78. So kind of at a negative here. So I need to go ahead and address this. So those are the basic functions. Oftentimes what you will see is the function, when it's used close to the data, it will sometimes guess correctly. So if I want to add up the total quantity here, or maybe I'll take the average. Let's see, maybe I'll take the average quantity. Right? So what is the average per quantity in stock? I'll do the average here. And because the data is right next to it, it's grabbing the numbers here. All right, so it grabbed it perfectly this time. So I can just go ahead and accept that value and go ahead and press enter. Okay, so I have 14.4, right? On average, 14.4 of each of my 5 products here as well. So those are the functions. They're built right in for us to use, and they just work like a charm. So go ahead, change the numbers around in here, and watch as the numbers over here change as well. So go ahead and drop in your auto sum, drop in your max, drop in your min function, and go ahead and drop in your average function there as well, and come right back. Welcome back. At this point, we just need to make sure that our document is saving correctly. And we can go ahead and take a look at the printing options for our documents. Now, because I'm using Office 365 Online, it's actually automatically saving my document for me. So whenever I make any changes, we'll get some notifications up here that is actually saving. So I can just go ahead and click on that menu here, and I can go ahead and give my document a name. I call it My Orders version 3. And I can view the version history if I want to. If I want to change the location on my OneDrive, right now it's just saving on the root of my OneDrive. But if I want a specific folder inside of OneDrive, I can go here and I can choose, or I can create a new folder and I can add it here as well. I'm okay with it being saved right here in the root. So I'll just right click and go back. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the print dialog. So I could print this by pressing Ctrl+P, or I can go ahead and click on my menu here. So if I click on my File tab, I can go to my print dialog. And this will open up a print-friendly view for me. Now, if I want to, I can bypass this and just skip to the web-based print dialog, and I can go in here and take a look at some of the settings here as well, such as the scaling, pages per sheet, and things of that nature here as well. But I'm going to go back and press Ctrl+P. So it is a two-step process. After you basically configure your settings here, you'll be taken to the browser-based print dialog, which allows you to print to a PDF for the modern browsers, or you can print it to your actual printer. Now, currently we are showing the active sheet. So when we're on the active sheet, the whole idea is that you need to go ahead and specify the settings for each of your worksheet tabs. Now remember, we have 3 worksheet tabs, one for the products, one for the orders, and one for the inventory. So if I change this to entire workbook, notice these options here, they're grayed out. I'm not able to interact with them. So the whole idea, go ahead and select the active sheet. And from here, you can go ahead and specify the layouts that you want. So I can change the letter size if I want to, various sizes here. I'll leave it on paper, 8.5 by 11. I can change the orientation if I want to. So right now I have this kind of vertical layout. If I want landscape to go make my page a lot wider, I can do that. And it's giving me a really nice preview on the left. This is an accurate preview of what your printout would look like. Now here are some margins here. So the margins are kind of the invisible border around our document here. So we can change it if you want to. This is pretty big. If I want to use narrow, I can change it. It will place my data closer to the left margin here. So if I choose a narrow margin, notice how it moves it closer to the border here. The other thing that we can do is scaling, which is very useful. If we have a lot of data and it's spilling over into multiple pages, we can use the option to fit sheet on one page. That will make sure that everything fits on one page. We also have the option to fit all columns on one page, or we can say fit all rows on one page as well. I'll choose the option to fit the sheet on one page. And then we have formatting options here. So if I want to see the grid lines, I can enable that. So notice that every time you make a change, it gives you a really nice preview here. So here are my grid lines. If I want to show the row and column headings, now I have my columns A, B, C, and D, and my rows 1 to 12. If I want to take it a step further, I can center my data horizontally. So it centers it for me. I can also center it vertically. So horizontally even on the left and the right. And vertically we'll make it centered top and bottom here as well. But that's okay. Don't really need all of that here. I will show the grid lines. I'll turn off the row and column headings. The grid lines will make it a little easier to read. And I'm not really concerned about the horizontal or vertical alignment. And I'm good to go. So at this point, if I click on entire workbook, notice it does not apply those settings to the other pages. If I scroll down, so notice here's my second worksheet tab. It is not showing the grid lines and it's spilling over into 2 pages. Here's my inventory worksheet tab. It's currently on 1, here on 1 as well, so that's okay. So what I need to do is go back to my workbook and customize each individual worksheet. So for my orders worksheet tab, I'll go back to my print dialog here. And then I'll just go ahead and select the active sheet. Okay. And right now it's currently spilling over into 2 pages. So I want to use the scaling to fit the sheet on 1 page. Or maybe I'll do fit sheet on 1 page. Very good. So I'll go back and I'll grab my third worksheet tab for the inventory and go ahead and repeat the process as well. And so once we have that, everything is good to go. We can go ahead and print the entire workbook. Again, this will open up the browser-based printer dialog box. If we need to make any other changes, we can hop into more settings. And so at this point, I have 3 sheets of paper. And we can scroll through the different sheets, make sure everything is okay. And from here, I can go ahead and save this as a PDF. So I'll go ahead and save that. And let's see. I'll save it here. Give it a name. And so that saves it for me. So go ahead and make sure you save your document to a specific location, or you can leave it right in the root of your OneDrive. Go ahead and use the Control+P command, or you can click on your file menu and go ahead and play around with the printer settings for each of these worksheet tabs. Go ahead and print it as a PDF and see what it looks like, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, congratulations on completing our Excel Essentials tutorial. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to PowerPoint. And we're going to go ahead and talk about just navigating the PowerPoint interface and manipulating some of its components. We'll go ahead and design a presentation together using templates, themes, and layouts. More specifically, we'll be talking about these primary topics here. We'll start off by selecting a presentation type. We'll take a look at some shortcuts, and we'll go ahead and build a presentation by formatting text, inserting and formatting images, shapes, objects. We'll provide some simple animations, and then we'll go ahead and review our presentation. So go back to your office.com home and go ahead and launch a blank PowerPoint presentation. I just went to my PowerPoint main screen here, and as you can see, we have a similar layout for our start screen. We can start a new presentation. We can open an existing one. We can search for one, or we can go ahead and explore some themes here as well. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new blank presentation. And we see more similarities. Okay, so here is our ribbon. Right, so those same 3 areas. I'm going to go ahead and close some of these things right now, such as the designer. We'll talk about that in a moment here. Okay. So here's our ribbon that we have. We also have our search bar right up here. And so really a identical layout that you'll notice here across the different Office products. And so we can accomplish a lot of the same things here. Some of these are actually named the same, such as the Home tab, the Insert tab, the Design tab as well. So what we want to do, let's go ahead and choose a design. So we'll go ahead and click on design. And we want to go ahead and start creating an actual presentation. So what we want to do in this presentation, we're tasked with creating a kind of like an informational presentation about my cafe. So we'll add a few slides. We'll add a slide, a title slide. We'll add another slide for the menu. We'll add a slide for contact. And then maybe we'll do another slide that just talks about our cafe. So let's go ahead and choose a design. I'll go ahead and click on the design tab here, and I'll take a look at some of the options that are available. Okay, so we have themes here. Now, themes are basically a set of colors, fonts, and effects. So what you will notice, and when you take a look at some of these themes, you'll notice that they all have a particular set of colors, and they all have a particular set of fonts and effects as well. So if I click on my drop down here I have some basic themes. So here's the default office theme. If you take a look on the bottom here, you can kind of see some of the colors that are accessible from this theme here. So we have blue, orange, gray, yellow, another variation of blue, and another variation of green. If I click on this atlas here, notice how it applies those effects, a type of font. So let's see what kind of font. Okay, so this is Calibri, and the submenu is going to be Rockwell. So different fonts here as well. I'll go back to my design tab. I'll take a look at another one here. Maybe I'll take a look at this Ion Boardroom. So it has some interesting colors here. So I'll choose this one. Okay, so notice it moves things around again. All right. And if I click here, so the font type here is Century Gothic for the title and also for the subtitle. So at this point, we just need to go ahead and choose what colors we want and what fonts we want here as well. One thing to point out is that when you do select a theme, you have different variants of the theme here. So maybe I want this bluish variant here. So if I click here, I have variant 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I want this blue one, if I click here, now I have access to some slightly different colors here, right? So the way these work, we have basically some primary colors and some are accent colors as well. So go ahead and choose one of these, right? And play around and come right back. Okay, well, hopefully you chose a theme that you really like here. And now it requires some thinking, because if we're going to be creating something, we want to be mindful of the colors and the fonts and the effects that we use. And so in this case, the person wants us to create a little informational about their cafe. So it will double as a presentation and kind of like a pamphlet that we can use as well. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just choose the basic office theme. And I'll start adding my content, and I'm going to use the designer, right? So on the home tab, we can access the designer. Sometimes it will pop up for us here as well. So I'll go ahead and just start adding data for my cafe here. So here is our first slide. It was already inserted for us. So I'll type my cafe. And for the subtitle, I'll put coffee to the rescue. So coffee to the rescue. And at this point, I can go ahead and take a look at my designer over here on the right and to see if I like anything that kind of stands out. Maybe I'm looking for a particular type of color. Okay. So maybe none of these are doing it for me. I'll go ahead and click on See More Designs on the bottom here. And it will constantly kind of refresh and provide me with some more options. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of options here that we can use. And if you still don't find anything you like, you can always come back. I'll click on See More Designs here, looking for something a little more specific here. I actually like this option. I like this layout. Let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, so maybe I'll choose this one here. And just like that, it just kind of drops it right in there for you. So I can always come back and make some changes if I want to. At this point, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and insert a new slide. We're going to have several slides. So right here on the Home tab, I can click on the drop down for a new slide. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now, very important, when you're inserting a slide, you have what's called slide layouts. So here is a title slide layout. Here is a title and content slide layout. Here is a section header layout, to content. So these are all content placeholders here. And then we have a comparison. So comparison is good because you can really compare two items side by side or two objects and have some caption there as well. If you want more space, you can just select title only and you'll have pretty much a blank canvas that you can insert your own, maybe some text boxes or some images or some objects or some shapes or some icons. We'll take a look at those. We have a blank slide layout. Okay. And then we have a content with caption. So on the left, we'll see our menu on the left or a title on the left and our content on the right. And then we have a picture with caption here as well. So different options. I'll go ahead and keep it simple. I want to insert a title and a content. So I'll go ahead and click on here. So notice it's keeping things consistent here. From that very first slide, when I chose my designer, it gave me these colors. And so when I insert a new slide, it's going to follow that pattern. I'll have these colors available and I'll still get some design ideas as I kind of write things up here. So this will be our about. Notice we can just type right in there. And again, we're inheriting the font that came with this actual theme and this design. So this Arial Nova Light 27. And if I click inside of my content placeholder here, it changes to 16. So let's talk about content placeholders. So this has two content placeholders. So we have one for the title. So this box right here, this is a content placeholder. So we can put things in here. Right now, we're putting some text. And on the bottom, we have another content placeholder. And in here, we can insert several things. So we can insert a table, smart art, some icons, and then we have several media options here on the bottom as well. And so if I were to just go ahead and click on one of these, if I want to insert an icon, this will bring me to Microsoft's library of creative content library for icons that we can use here as well. Right? So very large set here. Once we're here, we can actually search for images. We change our mind. We want to add an image. Here's some images here as well that we can drop in. Very beautiful images. Very high quality. We also have some cutout people that we can drop in if we want to. It's very important that we read the literature here. Okay, so right here on the bottom, this is a subset of the Creative Content Library. The full library is available to Microsoft subscribers. Okay. So we have some stickers here that we can drop in. All right. We have illustrations. So there's a lot of things here that we can use for our presentation. And then we have some cartoon people over here as well. So go ahead and pause the video at this point. Go ahead and click on, go ahead and insert a title and content slide, a new slide. Go ahead and click on one of the objects inside of that content placeholder and view the extensive library of images and graphics that you can access. Have fun just looking around and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun taking a look at the extensive library there. I'm going to go ahead and add some data here. And I want some text on this slide. And I don't really want to write long paragraphs, so I just want maybe 4 or 5 bullets to really just kind of point out some of the special features about our cafe. And so I'll just kind of think about how I want to shorten my data here. So I'll start off by saying we love coffee. And then notice I can just click inside of my content placeholder and start typing. I'll go ahead and press enter. And so right now I have this bulleted list here. So if I click on my content placeholder and I go up to my home tab, so right now this is a bulleted list. If I want to change this to a numbered list, I can click on the numbering library, and that will change it to a 1 for me. If I click on the drop down, I can have some more specific formats here that I want to use. Maybe I want numbers with parentheses. Notice how it's changing there. But I want to go back to the bullets here. Go back to my bulleted library. I like these bullets. They look okay. I could click on the drop down and I can have some arrows here, some check marks, some type of diamonds here, circles and dots. But let's go ahead and fill this out. We can always come back and make some changes here. So I have we love coffee. I'll press enter. And we only use fresh products. Okay. I'll press enter. I'll enter another one. Maybe I'll say something like, let's say, you're up early, so we are too. And then maybe I'll do another one here. Customers love our prices. Very good. So I have those there. And so again, if I want to go ahead and change the type of bullets, maybe I'll make it in form of check marks like that. All right, now there's a lot of empty space on here. So I want to make sure I kind of fill things up. I could make the font bigger. And so notice here, I can click on an actual line. So if I go ahead and just triple click, it selects the entire line for me. And from here, I can go ahead and increase the font if I want to. I can change the color. If I want to, I can make it bold, italicize, so forth and so on. So I'll go ahead and do that actually. For love, I'll go ahead and emphasize that. So I'll double click on the word love. I'll make that bold. Maybe I'll make that a color that kind of stands out here. Maybe I'll make it purple. Okay, so we love coffee. We only use fresh products. Make that bold, stand out. We'll use green to represent fresh as well. And you're up early, so we are too. And again, customers love our prices. So love will do with the purple here. We'll make that bold. And maybe we are too. We'll go ahead and make that italicized and bold. Okay, so we're just adding some basic text formatting to kind of emphasize our message here. But let's go ahead and take a look over to the right here. Our designer's calling our attention. It's asking us if it wants to add the next 4 slides automatically. Now it's going to try to add the slides based on these titles here. So it's going to insert a slide called We Love Coffee. We only use fresh products, and so forth and so on. So I don't really want that, but I do want to kind of take a look at the design over here to see if I can find something that will really look nice and be consistent with the current theme that I'm using. So let's see, we have some options here. I'll look for some more if I want to. All right, so some of these require a premium subscription. That's okay. So once I find something, I'll just go ahead and grab it. Normally, I would probably grab this one here because this one looks really, really nice. I'll probably grab that. But it's okay. For now, I'll go ahead and use that, and then I'll come back. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and increase the font size so I can take up some more of the space here. And I'll just change this to maybe 28. There we go. Looks a little better. All right. And so looking so far so good. So here's my cafe. If I want to change this, I can as well. Okay. Maybe I can find another option here that I like. Let's see. I think so far so good. I'll leave this alone. Come back to my slide here. And so we can go ahead and edit the text. Now what I want you to do, go ahead and pause the video. And for each line, I want you to go ahead and choose several things. I want you to change the font name, the font size, and the font color. So go ahead and apply at least 3 different effects. Okay, so for example here on the first line, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe change this to another, maybe Calibri. Change the size, maybe I'll make that 32. And you can apply bold, italicize, or you can go ahead and change the color. I want you to go ahead and practice taking a look at the different fonts, the sizes, and the colors that you can apply to each of these. And come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun playing around with those different formatting options here. I'm going to quickly take a look at some of the useful shortcuts for editing text. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a new slide. And I'll do title and content again this time. In the title, I'll add shortcuts. And just to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in some of these different shortcuts here. So I'll paste these in here. Okay. And so what we want to do is, here are some of the common tasks that we perform with our text editing. We use the bold, we use italics, we underline, we like to center things, we like to left justify things as well. And these can be found right up here on our home tab. So here's bold, italicize, underline, and then we have our alignments here as well. Now go ahead and write these sentences out, and then we'll go ahead and apply the shortcut. So I just typed out my list here, and here are these shortcuts. So notice these are very simple. There are a lot of shortcuts in PowerPoint, but these are the most common ones that are used for text editing. And they just require pressing Control plus a keyboard combination here. So for example, I'll go ahead and do the first one here. So to go ahead and bold this first part here, I'm going to go ahead and press Control B. And notice how that bolds it for me. If I want to also italicize that, if I press Control I, so now I have bold and it's italicized. I can also go ahead and underline it. So Control U, that underlines it for me. If I press Control E, that would center it for me. And if I want to put it back to the left, Control L, and that does it for me. So these are just some quick ways to apply some formatting. So I'll go ahead and leave on my resources slide, I'll place a link to all of the shortcuts according to Microsoft here. But for now, just go ahead and you can just triple click on each line to select everything here and go ahead and run the corresponding shortcut combination. Have fun and come right back. Welcome back. So now I'm going back to my second slide here, my About slide. And when it comes to the designer, it's a game of patience here. You basically just kind of wait until you get exactly what you're looking for. One of the great things about the designer, sometimes it will provide an infographic for you. So based on the words that you have entered here, it will actually provide you some graphics that you can use. For example, if I click here, notice it gives me some coffee beans here to signify that we love coffee. And we only use fresh products, gives us a thumbs up for being up early, and we have a light bulb for customers love our prices. That looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and check out another one here. Let's see what this one says. This one, the same thing, it just gives you a different layout here as well. Okay. And just a few here. So I'll keep coming back and checking on this slide, and I'll go ahead and choose one that I like. I think for now, I'll go ahead and choose this one here as well. Very good. Let's go ahead and insert another slide here. Let's insert a picture with a caption because we want this to really have a nice website feel. And so let's go ahead and insert a really nice picture here. And on the bottom, we'll add our maybe a little caption here. We'll say start and finish with us. And okay, so start and finish with us. And we are ready to serve you our delicious blends of organic coffee. So now we need to go ahead and grab a really nice picture for this slide here. So I can insert a picture from my computer right here on the first object here, but I want to go online. So I'll click on this option here to go online to look for a picture. And I'll type in the word coffee. And so at this point, it's just a matter of searching for a really nice picture here. So if I scroll down, I'll just keep going until I find one that I really like. Let's see. It's just a matter of clicking on it and clicking on insert once you find one. This is pretty nice here, this one, those 2 blue cups of coffee. But I'll keep looking down here. Let's see. To keep it simple, I'll grab those 2 blue cups here. You can insert multiple pictures. So right now one is selected. If I wanted to add another picture, I simply need to just go ahead and click on another one, and I'll be able to add another one here as well. Actually, this one looks pretty good. I think I'll choose this one, and I'm going to remove the other one here. I'll use that one for later. Okay, so I have this one selected. I'll go ahead and insert, and that looks pretty good, right? Fills up nice and wide. We don't have any person's face in there, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so just some hands on a coffee. I think that looks pretty good, pretty nice and elegant. If I want to, I can go ahead and apply one of these designs here as well. But I'm pretty happy with the way that this looks. Once you insert a picture into your PowerPoint, we get what's called a contextual menu. So notice when I click on the picture, I get this small menu here, and it says picture. Look what happens when I click away from the picture. Notice it goes away. So if I want that menu, I click here. It's almost kind of saying, hey, click on me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on there. And what this does, this allows you to basically format this picture. So there are various styles that you can use to apply to this. So for example, let's take a look at the menu here. If I want to change the picture, I can change it. Maybe I don't like that picture. I can reset the picture once I've made some changes to it. But right over here, we have some, sorry about that. Okay, so right over here, we have some styles that we can apply to this picture. Okay, if I click on this drop down, so I can place this inside of an oval if I want to. I can have various borders or frames around it. Let's see if I try this reflected bevel black. I'll click on that and see what it looks like. Okay, so pretty nice. It gives us this nice reflection here. So I think that looks pretty cool. But I'm going to go ahead and choose some other ones. I think I want to keep this slide very simple though. But I'll go back and click on picture. All right, there's different options here that we can use. So maybe I want to use this metal rounded rectangle. Okay, and if I kind of click away, it kind of shows what it looks like here. So pretty nice, but it's really up to you. So the whole idea is we can go ahead and add a particular style to it. And then we have some borders. So if you want to apply a type of border here, we could. We have different colors that we can use. Okay, so maybe I want a black border around it. So that kind of light goldish border that was around there. So that looks pretty cool. All right. And let's see what else we can do here. So we have several styles. We have several borders that we can use. We have the weight. We can make the border a little bigger if we want to. Then we have some other tools here that we can use. We can actually specify the width and the height of this picture if we want to. We can crop it. So if we click here on crop, we can do that. This picture is actually fitting perfectly into this frame. And so I like the way it looks. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it alone here. And I'll leave it like that. I'm pretty much done with that. So go ahead and insert a picture. Make sure to grab that picture contextual menu and go ahead and apply a style. You can even go ahead and apply a border if you want to, and just choose one that you like. And what you'll realize is when we insert other objects such as shapes or icons, we'll have that same type of menu that will allow us to manipulate these objects as we add them as well. So go ahead and pause the video. Go ahead and finish up this slide. Play around with the picture tools and choose one that you like and come right back. Welcome back. Well, so far we have a few slides here. We have our title slide. We have our about slide. We're just kind of pending a final design option here as well. And we can probably use this as maybe our cover or our splash screen here as well. Let's go ahead and insert, have some fun inserting a menu. So let's insert a new slide, and we want some room to be able to add some icons and some objects and some shapes on there. So let's just select a title only. And we'll go ahead and type the word menu in here. And what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and grab some icons and some pictures that kind of represents some of the products that we're selling. So let's head on over to our Insert tab here. And once we're on our Insert tab, we're going to go ahead and try and grab some pictures here. So let's look for some online pictures. We'll use stock images. So this is from Microsoft Stock here. And I'm going to go ahead and search for I want 4 pictures of coffee. All right, so I'll go ahead and search. So maybe I'll type the word cafe, see what I can find. And so go ahead and find 4 coffee pictures. Here's one, some ground coffee. We will offer ground coffee. And I'll go ahead and find some more here. Let's see. Here are my 2 cups that I want. Maybe we can offer a 2-for-1. Okay, so go ahead and find at least 4 pictures relating to coffee and just go ahead and insert them. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of that and come right back. Okay, so I have my 4 here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert. And they come in kind of stuck one behind each other here. So you just need to kind of break them apart here. So here's one. And I'll do my best to kind of align them here. And notice as you're moving things on the grid, you have these kind of lines, these red lines. They kind of guide you to show you when things are lining up properly here. And these images all came in at the same size. If I click on one of them, I click on my picture contextual menu. And I can see the size is roughly 3x2 for pretty much all of them here. Okay, so what I want us to do right now, we have these pictures here. We want to create a really nice menu. So we want to insert a few text boxes as well. And we want to go ahead and insert some $ icons and maybe some ovals or some circles as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Insert tab here. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and insert a text box first. So I'll insert a text box. So it's right here. Just so it doesn't disappear on me, I'll go ahead and type something in there. So maybe I'll type organic beans. So I have my text box, and then I'll go ahead and insert something else here. So I'll go ahead and insert maybe a shape, a basic shape. I can insert maybe an oval or a circle if I want to. Maybe I'll do an oval. So I have my text box, I have my oval here. And then I want to go ahead and grab a $. So I'll grab an icon. There we go. So I'll go ahead and grab this one, and I'll go ahead and click Insert. Okay. So at this point, what I want you to do, go ahead and insert a text box. Actually, 4 of each. So insert 4 text boxes, 4 of these ovals or circles, and 4 dollar signs. And we'll come back and we'll kind of organize everything here. Now I'm going to do a few things here. So instead of inserting 4 different text boxes here, what I'm going to do, I can either right click and I can copy and paste it. So I can copy and paste it 4 times if I want to. Or I can press Control D. There we go. So that's 1. And that will just go ahead and duplicate it for me. So that's 2. Just run that a few times. There we go. All right. So you can either copy it and paste it 4 times. Maybe for my oval here, I'll copy this. And I'll press Control V, and Control V. So that allows me to copy and paste it. For my dollar sign, same thing. I'll press Control C and then Control V. Very good. So now I just have to kind of organize all of these things here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I want to resize all of my pictures at the same time. So I'll click on my first picture, hold down the Control key, click on my second picture, hold down the Control key, click on my third, hold down the Control key and click on my fourth. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and resize it. When you're resizing a picture, you want to grab it from one of the corners because it keeps the aspect ratio intact. So notice if I try to grab it from the side here, notice how it's changing the shape of my picture. That's not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Put it back to normal here. I'm going to go ahead and grab it from the side. And now I can go ahead and resize them all together, just like that. And now I just want to go ahead and try and line them up. So I'll click away. Notice they're still grouped. So if I just click away, I can go ahead and break up the group there. And I'll go ahead and just try to line these up as best as I can using the lines as a guide. There we go. Once you select one of these pictures as well, you can use the arrow keys to move. So I can press down, left, and I can move it as well. So sometimes it's necessary to do that. Very good. So I have those 4 lined up. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my text boxes here. Like that. And I'm just trying to use my lines here as a guide. Make sure everything lines up properly. There we go. And then we have our dollar signs. Go ahead and move these. I'll put it here. Okay. So it's not perfect. I can go make it perfect if I want to, but just for now, we're going to go ahead and just align all these things together here. All right. And we'll put this over here. Very good. So now, here's our menu. Let's go ahead and just make it look a little nicer here. Okay. So this is not our organic beans. We'll call this our 2-for-1. This is a 2-for-1 special. We'll call this one the student special. And here are organic beans. And here's our to-go. Very good. So we can put the prices here. The great thing about these shapes is we can just start typing on it. So the 2 for 1, we'll put maybe $4. Actually, we'll put $3.99. And the student special, $1.99. Organic beans, a bag you'll get for $5.99. And the to-go is also $1.99. Now let's take care of our text boxes. Let's make these look really nice. Okay, so I'll click on my text box. I'll go ahead and click on the shape menu, contextual menu. And I want to go ahead and give it a nice style. So I'll try and find a nice color that goes next to I have some brown in here, some blue. So I'll try and find a nice color that kind of goes with that. So I'll click on my shape here and I'll use one of these options here. Maybe I'll grab this, let's see. Now again, these colors that I have selected, they're based on the theme that you currently have. Okay, so that's why it's important to go ahead and choose your theme ahead of time. If you want to, not completely necessary. You can kind of make it up along as you go. But if you're just starting out, it's a good idea just to go ahead and do that as well. So let's go ahead and apply another style here. And let's see, maybe I'll give this one a silverish tone. And I'm just adding some style to all of my text boxes here. Now there's different styles, as you can see. Some of these have some shadowy effects here. So we want to try to keep it consistent here. So here's the intense effect, blue-gray accent 4. Okay, so it gets more intense as you go down the list here. In my organic beans, I'll keep that as dark. I'll add a little color here from my plain. I'll make this a little orange. And I don't have a blue here. That's okay. Maybe I'll try this one here. And then what I want to do is maybe I'll make all of these the same color. So I'll go ahead and control and select all of these. And see if I can give it a nice silverish copper or silverish tone. Maybe this one. Okay, so looking pretty good. So now I just need to go ahead and move things around. As you can see, my dollar signs are kind of overlapping my text boxes here. And I want to use all of this space here as well. So I want to spread things out. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of my, and then I'll use the arrow key and just press to the right. In this case, I'll go ahead and just kind of move these over here. Like that. Okay. And then for my dollar signs, I'll move these around here as well. Put them close to my buttons here. And maybe my text boxes. I'll move these around, okay? So we're just editing, moving things around here a little bit as we see fit. Last thing I'll do, I'll go ahead and select all of my pictures here. And under the picture, I want to go ahead and place all of those in an oval. So I have this beveled oval black. We'll try that, see what that looks like. It's probably too dark. I'll go ahead and choose the soft edge. Okay. If I move these over here, it's starting to look pretty good. For my menu, I'll go ahead and center align that. Get my designer out of the way. Okay, and so here we go. Maybe I'll make the menu a little bigger. There we go. And so there we go. Very simple, but very effective. Okay, so we have our 4 products here, and we have our prices as well. So as you can see, we can go ahead and really just format these objects, these graphics. So we have pictures, we have text boxes, we have icons, and we have shapes here as well. So go ahead and just kind of lay these out on your canvas accordingly and come right back. Welcome back. So I want to do a few things here. I want to go ahead and make some changes to my title page. I'll drop in an image and see what the designer will give me. I'll go ahead and make a final decision on our About page. I'm going to go ahead and move this text editing. This is just for informational purposes, so I'll drag it and move it all the way to the end of my presentation here. And I want to hide it, so I'll right click and hide it so that it will not show up in either a printout or on my presentation as well. But let's talk about animations first. So I'll go ahead and click on my menu slide here. And what I want to do, maybe I want my menu, the word menu, to kind of fly in. So I'll go ahead and click on my animations tab. And as you can see, you have to have an object selected for these to be effective. So I'll click on my menu here. And there's different types of animations that you can use. So you have entrance animations such as appear, fade, fly in, split, or wipe. You have some emphasis, so we can come in and do a spin, or you can have some exit options here as well. So I want this to fly in. Okay. Now when it comes to animations, you don't want to overdo it. And normally the designer would often have options for you for an animation. You'll notice an animation is active on a slide. You'll see a star. As you can see, my title slide here has a star. And now I have a star on my fourth slide. And we have a number 1 because this is the first animation that is currently on this slide here. Okay. So if we use animations effectively, they can be very nice. We want to keep it simple. We don't want it to be too overwhelming for our audience. So the next thing I'll do, maybe I'll have the prices, the names here fly in, or I can have the prices. I'll have the descriptions fly in actually. So maybe I'll have this fly in. I'll go to student special. I'll have that fly in. Organic beans fly in. And then I'll have to go fly in. And I want to add an effect option as well. So let's see. Oh, it's flying in from the bottom. Maybe I'll do this one from the left. Okay. So some of these will allow you to have additional effects as well. So I'm going to go ahead and run my presentation here and let's see what this looks like. Okay, so my menu flies in. There's the names, the 2 for 1, student special, organic beans, and my to go is sliding in from the left there. So very good. Press escape to stop that. Okay, and so those are the animations. Again, so you can animate accordingly. There are a lot of options available for you here as well. And so go ahead and try those out. Another thing to make note of is that for the designer, sometimes it will provide some animated slides as well. Let's see if we can find one here for about. Okay, so currently not really. I'll go ahead and update this to about us. Okay, and I'll click away. And I want to make a decision on this slide here. If I don't find something that I like, it's okay. I'll just go ahead and make some manual updates. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and give this a style here. So I'll go ahead and click on my content placeholder here, and I'll go ahead and click on my shape icon. So I'll click on shape here, and maybe I'll give it a nice, let's see. Maybe I will give this let's see how that looks. Actually looks pretty nice. So here's about us. And so now I get some more options on my designer. And so I can go ahead and choose one of these if I want to, or I can search for more. Actually, this looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave this the way that it is. I'm pretty happy with that. If for some reason I see something I like on the designer later on, I can go ahead and make a change, but this looks okay. So now what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture for my cafe. And what we'll notice is we'll have some really nice options. Actually, I'll insert an icon. And let's see, I'll do cafe. And maybe I'll do coffee. Okay, and I'll grab this guy here. I'll insert that. So now, just by inserting that image, I have some more options here. And this one looks really nice and elegant, my cafe. So I can choose one of these here. Pretty cool. I think I'll go ahead and choose this one. Okay, so there we go. My cafe, coffee to the rescue. And then I'll move up my splash page here, just like that. Okay. And so very good. Looks very nice, very elegant. Okay. And then I have these are animated, so these are coming in. Maybe I'll update the menu here as well. So I'll grab the shape and let's see, what color do I want to use? Maybe I'll try this really nice orange here for the menu. Okay. And there we go. All right, so very good. So at this point, we can go ahead and click on our review tab and we can just make sure everything is okay. We can go ahead and run our spell checker. Okay. So we can check our slide. Right. So no issues were found. Okay, so for this one here, it's giving me some options here. Contractions or full forms. I can either ignore it or I can accept it. Okay with that. All right, so very good. So at this point, if we want to, go ahead and use everything that you've learned. Go ahead and insert another slide, just a title slide, and go ahead and add some icons for a contact page. Okay, so insert a slide, make it a contact page, and you can add in an email icon, a phone icon, and whatever other icons you feel fit to put in there. You can add some text boxes there as well. One of the things that we can do is to run the check accessibility. The accessibility checker is very good because it checks your document to make sure that it is compliant. For example, for persons with visual impairments or persons that they use screen readers. So it will let you know, hey, this is not inclusive. If you have some bad color combinations, it will tell you that you have some bad color combinations here as well. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and recheck it here. So it's telling me that I'm missing alternative text for my content placeholder 2 on slide 3. So here, this is not very descriptive for a screen reader. So I could add some alternative text here. Also have a warning here and the reading order. So on slide 4, okay. But the accessibility checker is very good. I really like to use it to check to see if I have any bad color combinations. But this looks pretty good. So again, we can run the accessibility checker. It's available under the review tab. We can run our spell checker to make sure everything is okay. And as we're typing, we're getting spelling corrections as well. So we're pretty much done here. Go ahead and insert that last slide for the contact and put together everything that you've learned and make that slide your own. Well, congratulations on completing our Office 365 Essentials course. We were able to take a look at some of the most popular apps in Office 365. Hopefully you enjoy the online experience. It's a great benefit to be able to access your Office applications from any browser as well. So congratulations on completing our course, and I look forward to seeing you in a future tutorial.